Welcome back. Today we're going to add support for a Golang server to a brand new accept a payment Stripe sample. So we're just going to add the backend for creating a new payment intent. So here we have a sample, and right now we already support .NET, Java, Node and TypeScript, PHP, PHP Slim, Ruby, and Python. So we really just need to add support for Go. So I'm going to make a new directory called Go, and then I'm going to copy everything from an existing sample. Checkout one-time payments server go /star into Go. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. This example was for the previous code that I just copied was for checkout. So instead of creating a checkout session, we're going to create a payment intent handle create payment intent. So that will be a function that we're going to modify down below. Handle create checkout. Okay, handle create. Okay, here we go. Payment intent. All right, so now we've got a function here. The request is actually going to be create payment intent create request. We don't care about the domain URL, and in fact that the environment variables, we're not going to pull payment method types out of environment variables. Instead, we're going to accept those as an argument. And so I'm just going to actually delete all of this. I'm going to change this to payment intent. Oops. Actually, just PI, and then here we'll say payment intent.new params. And then we need to define params as, I believe it's stripe.payment intent params, and we're going to pass in an amount, and that's going to be a int 64, and let's say that we're just going to charge folks $19.99. We also need a currency, and this is going to come from the request body. So I think we're going to need stripe.string of request body currency, and let's see, what else are we going to have? We are also going to pass in payment method types, which is going to be a list of strings. So stripe.string slice, and that will just have request.payment method type. So we're going to pass in a payment method type. Okay, and we're writing back the JSON. Instead of session ID, in this case, we want a client secret. And it's shaped like this, client secret. And so here we got client secret, pi.client secret. Okay, so now we have this handle create payment intent endpoint, which is going to receive requests from the front end to create this payment intent. This struct here, I think we need to define, how does this work? We want to say currency is a string, and it comes in from JSON as currency. And we also want payment method type, and that's going to come in as payment method type. And why is that not happy? I'm trying to define the struct here. Okay. So this needs to be, I'm sorry, I did this in the wrong place. This needs to be up here. And like that. And this needs to be renamed to payment intent create request. Payment intent create request. We don't need this handle checkout session function anymore. So handle config, this is going to be our get route, and we are only going to return one value in the response for config, and that is for the publishable key. Public key, publishable key, sort of the same name, but in this sample, the clients expect that the key is called publishable key. And the shape of the JSON looks like that. All right, so we are going to handle get requests that are coming in. All right, so we're going to handle these get requests that are coming in, and then we need payment intent. All right, so we're handling config, we're handling, okay, great. The error response message, that looks good. Okay, so I've got some RSpec tests here that I can run that will run against the server. So I have to start the server, accept payment, okay, and then we're gonna go into custom payment flow, server, go run server. Okay, imported and not used strings. So we're not using strings anymore, apparently. And cannot use rec.payment method type string as type list for a string slice. Okay, so stripe.string slice. I forget exactly how this works. So I'm going to pull up the documentation, or pull up just the GitHub repo here, and try to find string slice. And okay, so I just need to pass in this sort of slice of string to string slice with that value, I think. Let's see if this makes the compiler happy. Error loading .env file. Okay, that's good. So there should be a .env file in the root directory. So in the Go directory. I have one in a sibling directory in Ruby. So let's try this again. Okay, you must set a price ID from your Stripe account. Okay, that doesn't matter for this specific sample. So I'm going to remove this check-env function. And I'm going to restart. Okay, now we are running. Our server is up and running. Let's rerun those tests, RSpec tests. All right, great. We've got 4 examples and 1 failure. We are 3/4 of the way done. Okay, so the test that failed, full integration path to create payment intent fails gracefully if mismatched currency and payment method type. Okay, so create payment, create payment intent. All right, so if we receive a mismatched currency or price, then I expect this. I expect that we're entering this this error block, because we should get back an error from Stripe when we attempt to make this API call, which creates a new payment intent. And when that happens, rather than just calling HTTP error, we need to call something else. So what this is saying is that we failed to parse the response, and the response was actually nil. That's because we didn't actually return a response. So let's go look at our, okay, so we've got 2 methods here, write JSON error and write JSON error message. And then we've got write JSON. So I think what we want to do is say write JSON error message. And we want to pass in error.error.something. Let's pull up the API reference and look at the errors explanation for Go to see what type or how we access the message for the error. All right, so I think we need to cast it into a specific error, maybe. Yeah, because we want the Stripe error.error, but we still have normal error, so we need to cast it here. So let's do this. Yeah, let's do this bit. So we're not going to deal with specific error codes. We are going to just say yeah, we're just going to take the default Stripe error. It's a little bit high level for what we're trying to do, but I think that's okay because at least we will show an error to the user. So here we're going to write Stripe error dot error. We probably don't need that. Okay, and we do want to return early and go format. Let's see if we cleaned everything up. All right, let's restart the server. Undefined Stripe error. It's right there. No. What's going on? So, write JSON error message. Oh, we need to pass it the response writer. And what else? And the message and the code, the error code that we want to throw. So in this case, we want to throw a 400. If Stripe error, okay, so I think, all right, so I'm entering this block here. If we get some other error, then I want to just like say failed, unknown server error, and then we'll return a 500 just to keep things easy. Okay, so if we start the server now, allow, and we'll rerun our tests. Okay, still getting nil. So it looks like we got a 500 though. So let's see, superfluous write header call from main write JSON error. Okay, so that's probably because I'm calling HTTP error here. So we don't need to we probably don't need to double cast it or whatever, or double set the header. Let's see. Request 400. The currency provided is okay. Other Stripe error occurred. Oh, cool. Tests are passing. Look at that. 4 examples, 0 failures. We do have some. Yeah, I mean, the error that we got was the correct error and it is logged. So that is fantastic. Just for fun, why don't we fire up the browser and head over to localhost 4242. So this is the new sample. It's coming down the pipe soon, but it's going to show how you would implement, card, accepting payment with cards. So we've got decline secret, payment succeeded. We've also got support for a ton of other payment methods. So ideal, right? You can go through and pick the ideal bank, and this will walk you through the redirect flow for testing out ideal. So come back, and again, payment succeeded. So that's our payment intent. So several payment method types here are supported. And over time, we'll be adding more. But this is a sample that will show you how to implement each of the individual payment method types. And each of these are passing from the client. They're passing the currency and the payment method type. So it's going to pass, USD and card, or Euro and SEPA debit for the SEPA example. So pretty cool, exciting stuff, and really looking forward to making this sample repository public. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.